Hey everybody, it's Nerdy Rana, and today I'm talking about something that I don't think I've really talked about all that much, but I know that a lot of people sometimes will ask me a particular question that I've been kind of like dodging for a good chunk of time, and I feel like I should bring it up primarily because like it's starting again, people asking me this particular question. Sometimes on TikTok, still sometimes on Tumblr. I don't even know why I mess around with that app anymore. And the question is, will I ever go to anime conventions again? And the answer to that is specifically anime conventions? No, I don't think so. Primarily because I just don't have the patience for it anymore. Also, I've heard a lot of people talk about how the pandemic kind of messed that up too as well. Granted, I feel like it's been a problem even well before the pandemic, before COVID started. I just feel like I just don't think that anime conventions specifically are just not for me. Maybe in the future I might go to a gaming convention, maybe something like Comic-Con that's more comic book related, maybe a sci-fi con of sorts. But yeah, not an anime convention because I have my reasons, and I'm gonna get into those reasons. In fact, it's 5 reasons why I don't go to anime convention. These are my specific like experiences that I've had at these conventions, so when I'm saying these reasons, there is a actual reason. It's not just like, oh, this is what happens at all conventions. No, these are just my experiences. So let's get into the first one, shall we? I know this one is probably gonna piss a lot of people off, but minors and children, I can't stand them. I don't care to be around children, especially when I'm spending time and money to go to an event and have fun. I'm not saying all kids are bad. I'm not saying I hate all kids. I'm not saying that, oh, kids should not have fun too. It's just, there's a lot of complications when it comes to conventions, especially when, you know, during the daytime it's supposed to be like family friendly and everyone's included and everything. And then the nightlife starts, you know, after dark, and you got all these kids running around still. It's just so awkward. Incredibly awkward. There have been multiple times where there will be a group of kids and they're like, we don't have a place to stay. I was just like, how did you get here? Our parents dropped us off. What? Minors at these conventions, it's bothersome, it's annoying. And a lot of these conventions, like a lot of people will do parties and alcohol is involved, weed is involved, other activities are involved. It's just weird. I feel like at this point, these cons need to just be like, you have to be 18 and up. Maybe there can be some conventions where, you know, like, oh, it's all family inclusive, but it's only during the day. There's no nighttime, like, because like, don't kids have like curfews or something? There's so many instances. Like one time I went into the bathroom, I wanted to freshen up, I wanted to like get my makeup all zhuzhed up, I guess, and there was this girl who I clearly knew was underage because this was a con that would tell you if you were a minor or if you were 18 plus on the badge, and it was clear that her badge was under the age of 18, and she looks like she has been drinking or like she's under the influence of something, and she was slurring her words, and I'm just like, ooh, I gotta get a staff member and help you out, because she just wasn't doing so great. And as soon as I left and I came back with a staff member, she was gone. So I'm just like, oh great. So she was just running around. All I could do was give a description and say, hey, she didn't seem so good. I was gonna grab her a water, and I did, but like, she left. There was this one kid that actually like hitchhiked 3 hours away from his town to go to a particular convention. I'm not going to even say the name of these conventions either. These were smaller sized conventions, don't get me wrong. They weren't anything like Katsucon or anything like that. And I'm just like, you're lucky you even got here like safely, kid. Like, do you have any money? Like do you know anyone in the area? And he's like, no, I'm all by myself and I need a place to stay. I'm just like, you need to go. we need to talk to the staff. We need to talk to the hotel staff. You shouldn't even be here. And he bolted after I said that, because I was like, there's no way you should be here by yourself like this, especially the fact that you hitchhiked to get here. What are you doing? But yeah, I think a lot of these cons should be like just 18 plus from the get-go, especially if they're gonna have like night events or panels that are at nighttime. And a lot of times these panels are 18 plus. They do the 18 plus stuff during the nighttime. So I just feel like you should just be 18 going to these cons. Reason number 2 why I don't go to anime conventions, and I know this one might be a little more I don't know, controversial is the word. Fandoms. Oh my goodness, where do I even begin with this one? Just, I'm not saying all fandoms are bad. I'm not saying they're just bad apples when it comes to certain fandoms. It's not the whole entire fandom. However, it could be a majority. And I'm not gonna name fandoms, or am I? I'm stuck. Dare I say it, Hazbin Hotel. I love Hazbin Hotel, by the way. I love Hazbin Hotel. However, when you're underage and cosplaying as Angel Dust, it's a little weird, and you really shouldn't be doing that. Don't do that. Reason number 3, I think we're on 3. I forgot how to count. Creeps and people who don't know con etiquette. I'm just gonna say those 2 things together, because a lot of times it is the creeps that don't have the con etiquette. Do you necessarily have to be a creep in order to not have con etiquette? No, I've seen that too, but I'm just gonna waddle it up to both of those being in the same category. Quit creeping on people. I don't care what they're wearing, it doesn't matter. And the fact that like the whole, what was it called, my cosplay does not consent shit. There were times where I wasn't even in costume. I would just be wearing shorts and a tank top. It's usually dudes. Mind your P's and Q's. Don't pop someone else's personal bubble. But yeah, creeps and people who don't know proper con etiquette. Like, you know, basic hygiene. Not talking to someone when they're eating. When someone is clearly just sitting down, resting, and just like on their phone, have earbuds in, like totally just like, I'm not associating with anybody right now. And they just bother you because they feel like that's the thing to do. Or understanding that, hey, if someone says no to wanting to take a photo, they didn't consent to it, so leave them alone. Don't ask for their photo, don't harass them for a photo. Don't get mad at them for not wanting to have a photo with you. And then just creeps that just can't mind their business, let alone just keep their hands to themselves. There's also this one dude that tried to like chase me around the con. He wasn't even supposed to be there. He didn't have a badge or nothing. For 2 straight hours, this guy was weaving in and out of the halls. No badge. Went in and out of the, is it like the rave? Like there's usually a rave at every con. And he weaved in and out of that con multiple times. Never stopped by staff. And I had to point it out, like, where the fuck is your badge? And he's like, well, what badge? I was like, you're not even supposed to be here. Everyone's supposed to have a badge. Why don't you have one? And then that's when staff finally like, oh, we gotta get this guy out of here. Now, as much as I want out that particular con, I'm not going to. I don't want to bash any of these cons. Sometimes shit happens. But I will say, the way staff handled that situation, hated it. But yeah, that creep tried to grab me by the arm, and I literally, like, I punched him. And I know you're not really supposed to do that, but it's like, dude, I don't know you. You need to go away. Number 4, staff members. I kind of already touched it from the last topic, because sometimes I get that the staff members are not paid to be there, but like there have been multiple times where I've gone to conventions and a lot of them don't really care what's going on at the con, not regulating really much of anything. And I get it, you're not getting paid to be there, but if you volunteered to be there and say that, hey, I'm gonna do this, wouldn't you do it? A lot of con staff will like yell at people who are waiting in lines for no reason other than keep the line moving or stop pushing, and like no one's really doing anything. I understand them yelling when a whole hallway is being blocked off, because that's a fire code, but like sometimes it's like you yelling when I'm right there. That's happened so many times that I just look I'm like, do you have to yell it directly into my ear? Like, I get it, you're yelling at them, but go over there and yell at them, not in my ear. And like I said, a lot of times they kind of overlook stuff. Like I said, the one guy that didn't have a badge, they literally didn't do anything until I said something. And they're like, oh, you've never paid to be here. And no shit. I'm not staff. Why the fuck am I doing your job for you? And I get it, it's hard to keep tabs on everybody, but that's literally the job or the volunteer work. Like I said, they're not getting paid to do any of these things. A lot of times they're like, oh, they get a free badge to go to the con, maybe get a discount for like the hotel or other items that they might win for prizes and stuff like that. But like, I get it, they're not getting paid. Technically not getting paid to be there. I just found it really annoying most of the time that staff, they're like, yeah, we'll do something about it, and they kind of just stood around. I don't know, it wasn't always like that. It was just, I feel like there were more times of that happening versus like staff members actually helping. And the last reason, they're expensive. Like, and it's even worse now with like the economy and inflation and gas prices and whatnot. It's just, I can't be bothered to go to a convention, especially if I'm not having a good time. I'm not even talking about the dealer's room. I'm talking about like, I have to pay for the hotel, I have to pay for gas, I have to pay for the badge, any of the food that like I have to like either go to a fast food restaurant or a diner somewhere close by. And like I said, nowadays I don't know what it's like. The last con I went to was just before the pandemic happened, and I haven't gone to a con ever since. I think that was like, what, at the very beginning of 2020. Yeah, it was on New Year's too. I only stayed at that con for 2 hours too. I only hung out in the dealer's room, and I was just like, I'm out. Because none of the panels seemed really good either. I just went to go, and it was kind of boring. But yeah, when you gotta pay all that money, and then if you want to go to the dealer's room, and like you're not having fun. I don't know, maybe it was just me. Maybe I'm the loser. I don't know. I tried so many times going to cons, anime conventions specifically, and I could never like go to one and not have issues. And for the cost of going and like a whole weekend spent dealing with really crappy situations, it's not worth it in my opinion. Also, you're like, a lot of times I had to make my costumes, so that too, like I would make my costumes, I would cosplay during these times, and I'm like, you know, oh, it's really hot, I have a headache because of my wig. Sometimes I wear a chest biter, and I just was like super uncomfortable for hours at a time, and I'm just like, am I having fun? I remember all the bad stuff happening. I know there was some good stuff here and there, but like, I think the cons weighed out the pros at cons. See what I did there? But yeah, I don't see myself going to any kind of anime convention anytime soon. In fact, just anime conventions in general, I don't think I would be going. Maybe I'll go to a gaming convention, maybe I'll go to like a comic book convention, maybe a sci-fi convention, but not anime. I can't do it. I just can't. Now, I'm still gonna cosplay, absolutely. It's just, I'm gonna do it on my own time while I'm making TikToks, while I'm, you know, finding locations myself. I just don't see myself going to an anime convention really at all in the future. Maybe that'll change, I don't know. And those are my 5 reasons why I don't go to anime conventions. Do you have any reasons why you don't really like going to conventions? Let me know, and I'll see you next time. I'm Nudie Rana. I'm signing out. Please like, comment, and subscribe if that's what you want to do, or not. You can dislike the video, it wouldn't matter to me. Later.